of the map as well. There you go. All right, we're counting down the last 5 seconds to see what they have up their sleeve for this defense ban. And furthermore, it looks like we got Valkyrie off of the top. Interesting choice. Generally, when we see a Valkyrie in play up here, because Coastline's pretty good with the camera distribution, so it's pretty interesting to see that they chose to ban Valkyrie. Not really sure what they're worried about. Perhaps these spawn peaks. And then Echo, of course, smart ban, always on the clock here. So it looks like, for the most part, with the exception of that Valkyrie, a pretty standard ban set. Nothing too out of the gate. We got Blackbeard for that back window. They're really, really worried about that upstairs push from what it looks like. But the rest of it seems to be pretty straightforward. We got Ying's out. We got Echo's out. And let's check what we got going on here with the attacking team's operator set. Thermite and Thatcher, definitely necessary. Looks like they're expecting something immediately upstairs for that back wall. They have Jackal and Ash, but they switched that Ash to a Buck. I was just about to say, just in case they need to get anywhere, any flat wall open. And then on the defensive side, they went downstairs, which is interesting. First play, trying to throw them off, and it looks like it worked based on their operators' choices. We got Smoke, Jaeger, Ella, Castle, and Legion. Not a bad set at all. They're going to go ahead and take that 6-pick advantage. They're going to go ahead and switch it up with Zofia. We're still seeing the same 5 stack on the defensive team. All right, and we're in it. We're in preparation phase. They got 45 seconds to try to make something happen. Again, they did go ahead and choose Kitchen, which generally for the first round is not something we see on Coastline, not too often. But it might work out in their favor. It definitely threw the attacking team off a bit based on what we saw. But then again, Thermite and Thatcher are still going to be some pretty basic operators that'll come in handy here. Now they're going ahead and opening that back wall there. And they chose kind of an early time to do it. So if somebody's droning through, we see this drone right there. And he did manage to find it. But if they're droning through, they're going to be expecting that spawn peek. And if Ella's not smooth enough with it, she's going to go ahead and try to peek out and just get the run out right now. Let's see how she does. And then just kind of in that area. Didn't look like anybody was over there. But that's what you'd want to expect. And definitely you can see it kind of threw them off last minute. I think they kind of just noticed it. I haven't even believed they found it just yet. And that's going to be... I'm gonna have to learn everybody's name, but Money Catch You is now helping out that orange team there. And, you know, while we're here, while we're just learning, let me try to find a feel for everybody's names here. And eventually, as the game goes on, we'll have a better idea. But we got Jackal holding down, and it's pretty much just gonna be an up-down push from what it looks like. They're starting at the top and they're working their way down. With the exception of Thatcher, they're pretty far from each other. Thatcher doesn't really have too much of a job now, considering that Thermite is gone. Potentially he can help with I guess just getting stuff open and just worrying about those traps and stuff. But Kitchen, Thatcher's not gonna be your best bet for the most part anyway. Just go ahead and pre-firing that wall there just in case. He pushed it up kind of a little bit nervous is the way it looked like. Not really sure exactly what to do. You got to be careful when you're peeking windows like that you know are open, peeking walls rather. Because you need to make sure that you're ready to rock. And she kind of just hesitated there, which any other game definitely would have costed her. Meanwhile, with the blue team with the diffuser, we're watching Thatcher now, who's kind of just holding it down, droning, taking it slowly. It's a lot of time off the board, which means we're going to see a big slam in the last few moments of this round. A little bit of trade, nothing too much, but he got him in his sights there. He's going to just barely get off of it. That one long range shot. Oh, very quick with it. Back on his left here. He's going to see him coming around. Potentially they're right in each other's crosshairs. There it is. Just barely seeing him. And I can't tell. I don't believe he got him there. I think there's somebody else with a trade. That's still now 2 blue defenders out, or attackers that are out the game. Doing a great job holding it down on the defensive side of things. That's going to be Castle, though, down. They're going to try to go for that revive there. They're getting awfully close. There it is. I think they're managing to get it. That's now 3. That's 4. That you can't get a better round than this. All 5 of your defenders are still standing with 45 seconds remaining. Now, he's got a healthy amount of time, relatively healthy, but it doesn't look likely. Castle's pretty lit up there. Doesn't look like he's going to be of too much more help going forward. But with this Castle's up, he's definitely blocked off some of the entranceways. Not too much room for negotiation there. And poor Jackal's going to be a haul by himself. Just trying to make something happen, but he's quick on the draw with a 1v4 now. Swoops back around. He sees him. Ooh, but it wasn't fast enough. This is me Money Catch You coming out with the first one, winning it for the defenders there. Watching it again, he drops down, listens, pre-fires, and he's out of the game just like that. Very good shot. We're in round 2 now. And I'm excited to see how they switch it up, knowing that they can't go downstairs anymore. And again, they go with the blue, so it looks like they're purposely just hanging off that top penthouse floor there. That's an interesting choice. Normally, we try to see that go early. We get right into it. If you look at ranked style games, but it looks like their strategy there definitely worked in their favor in terms of operator set. Threw them off. Now it looks like they're a little bit more confident they're going upstairs, but still not the case. We noticed that the Zofia switched out for Ash once again. Well, we'll see. Maybe they'll 6-pick it. We haven't got a confirmation from Ash just yet. Up. What? And okay, switch to a Buck. Interesting. Nevertheless, they're not going to roll with Ash. But I think just in case they did go upstairs, I'm going to have that there for shooting below. Not necessarily a bad strategy. But they're still throwing everybody off without picking up that penthouse floor. Not quite sure what their game plan was with that. Alright, we're back with it. They're in kitchen here. Prepping kitchen. With just 20 seconds remaining in preparation phase for the second round. This is going to be a more crucial round for the attacking team to kind of change the tone of the game a little bit. This seems to be kind of like a fake prep of sorts. Just kind of throw them off. They're definitely not in kitchen anymore. At least just kind of delay any pushes from the backside while they can't keep their eyes on it. So it's still now 3 minutes. We move into the action phase. And that's going to be Mute and Jaeger, rather. Sorry, rolling around, putting some stuff down, holding it down. Alright, let's check this out. I still haven't gotten the chat up yet. If you're watching, oh, okay, quick out the gate. Alright, they switch it up a little bit. A little change of pace with that early pick. Just watching for that spawn peak. You gotta remember you're playing people that definitely know the game. You're playing some top tier people. Don't get too cocky. And it looks like that's what we saw out of the gate. He went for it. Can't be mad at him though. If he would have got the pick, it would have definitely helped him out. Alright, they're sweeping back around now. And they're already inside. They're upstairs. Again, you can see they're expecting that upstairs play, as you would on Coastline. But that's not the case. It was definitely a smart choice. And now they've already wasted about a good minute off the clock with just anticipating the wrong objective. And you can see they're on cameras now. The other team is very much aware of what's going on. But you can see out of almost, I think, 3 out of the 5 men pushing upstairs pretty aggressively. He's going to go ahead and peek her there, but get a little, just barely missing it. You see somebody on the stairs. That's why that Jackal comes in handy. And then she's going to go ahead and retreat back down blue. But you still got a little bit of action coming from the right side. Going to throw that grenade, a little prep. And then, ooh, I would have pre-fired that bad boy, but he went ahead and just peeked it pretty aggressively. But it didn't work. It worked out in his favor in that case. With now a minute 30 still on the clock, we see just one man down on the defensive side. That's from that early pick. So not too many trades going on. Everybody's still looking pretty healthy. Just a little bit of a mine running into Buck for the most part, though. Everybody's still on tag. Go! We're going to run into, there it is, right through the wall. A little bit of action coming out of Lucky. And then again, that's why that Buck comes in handy. As he sprays from above. Heaven rains. There it is. It's now a 5v2. A much different tone set for the blue team. Check this out. And we're going to watch Lucky again. Oh, just barely missing them. Quick on the draw. And the fuser's going down, by the way. A lot of cameras are still up. It doesn't look like that's what they're worried about, and that's probably what costed them 2 of their operators. This is looking a little bit more realistic. When you have 5 men up, there's really no excuse for having so many people down. You got to use your eyes there, buddy. Catch you got to wake up. He's just barely missing him, though. A little bit of that fog getting in his way. That's going to be Fredak making this a 3v1. Doesn't look too good for poor Catchu, and there it is. Going to be out of his way right there. All right. I like the way this is going. Quick trades back and forth. This definitely was a game changer for the blue team. I think that first round kind of woke them up, put their headspace in the game. And I'm going to try to grab the chat for us while we got a little break right here. There we go. Alrighty. And then we're just coming right here. Alrighty. Alright, I might have to bring it up on my phone. I'm not seeing the chat line anywhere, so if you guys are there, my apologies, but we'll jump right back into this round here, though. Alright, with 30 seconds in that prep, we're going to see them readjust a little bit. It looks like we're finally going to get upstairs now, but not quite penthouse range just yet with 20 seconds now. Oh, they're just going to barely miss that drone there. It doesn't look like anything that's going to cost them too heavily. And that's pretty much it. We see this basic setup here. I didn't really get a chance to review all the operators they chose, but from what it looks like, I believe that's a smoke. They got a Jaeger, pulse. Just your standard legion. Yeah, just a standard pretty much set there. Now that we're in action phase. And then on the attacking side, nothing too much has changed. And why would it? We see they took out Jackal, which was definitely a big help for them. They swapped it out for that Habana. I guess now at this point, they're really expecting them to be upstairs. But Jackal was definitely a game changer for them in some respects. But it's interesting to see that he's no longer a part of their master plan here. I would say at this point, they're definitely assuming that they are penthouse. I mean, it's still interesting to see that they are avoiding it. If they would have caught on, that would have been great, and perhaps that's why they took a Habana rather than a Jackal. But it's hard to really pinpoint what's going on through their minds right now on the blue team. Meanwhile, we just got a little bit of fire going back and forth, some noise, nothing too crazy. We're hearing a little something roll out, but oh, long range, wow, through the wall there. Or it looks like it's gonna be not the person we're watching, but there it is. Habana's gonna go ahead and grab somebody out from a little bit around the corner in South Hallway. You gotta take a little bit of a trade, but nothing that's gonna take her out of the game. So, oh, speaks too soon. There she is now out. So let's trade it off. It's a 4v4 with a whole minute 45 seconds. Not a bad position, but if they want, oh, it's gonna say if they want something to happen, they need to do it now before the blue team takes a hold of that. Whoa! All right, it looks like maybe they were trying to go for the revive there, or something like that. But it's mistakes like that that's gonna end up costing you. There it is again, coming around the corner. It's a 2v3, doable for the blue team. Oh, it's starting to look a little less likely. There it is. All right. Ooh, look at that. I got a little three-piece on him for him, right there, 2 or 3. Comes around, hops on down, and just rains from above. Then turns on the right and grabs him again. There it is. Interesting. So so far we're seeing trades round after round after round. We're gonna be in round 4 here, obviously. And they're going back to kitchen where they had an interesting control of the map. They didn't really give them too much room to negotiate inside. Didn't give them too much room to make anything really happen. So it's going to be fun to watch. They've got kitchen on lock from what it seems like, and hopefully we'll see that repeat. And again, you have to bear with me as I'm trying to multitask. I do want to chat up so I can kind of keep up with what you guys are saying. I don't know. Alright. Once again, we're in the 4th time now, this preparation phase. And okay, we got a little mix-up going on the blue team. Let's break it down. We got Buck now. We've seen Buck played a little bit consistently throughout their team. Depends on where they're thinking they're going. I've noticed they still avoided that penthouse. So far, it's worked for the most part in their favor. I think they obviously they got 1 round when they went elsewhere, but avoiding penthouse has been kind of their mantra thus far for the entire defensive duration. Anyway, we see Thatcher now in use. Thermite's also chilling. All right. Should be a pretty good matchup here. It's interesting to see they switched up for a Sledge. Not exactly sure where they think Sledge will be helpful, unless they're anticipating that that push again upstairs. But I can't imagine that they would. Now they did leave that whole sidewall open in bathroom. It's a tough push anywhere, even in ranked. It's a difficult push to try to Sledge open that bathroom wall because, you know, and you can see they have so many people down there just watching and holding it down. So I'm curious to see where they think Sledge will be able to get close enough to make something happen besides on barricades you see right there. Oh, that's going to be a quick trade-off coming from Katsu, coming to Katsu out of Only. And Visual just holding it down very silently in Penthouse. So it looks like they kind of anticipated that they would think they're in Penthouse, as you would. And even the blue team, and they're right with it. The blue team is definitely pushing it kind of aggressively. It doesn't seem they've caught on to the idea that they have not selected Penthouse on purpose. And so each push looks like they're consistently going for Penthouse, which is definitely not going to work in their favor in this case. It would come down to a battle of gun skill if they're just holding it down at the top there. But really, we got to see if Vigil is going to sneak his way out from upstairs. Looks like they are starting to retreat back just a little bit. Ooh, not before F-Boy takes him out right there with Only. Making this again a 4v4. There's Sledge. He's opened up the back wall. Obviously, he's seeing that the objective is not in there. Ooh, this is definitely going to cost him. He's not sure where those bullets are coming from. Again, that's why I said that Sledge would help upstairs, but they should have caught on to that for sure. That's going to be, not Sledge. I was just thinking it was going to be Sledge, but no, it's going to be Freddy out of the game there. It's still, ooh, I was just about to call it. It's now a 2v4. With Castle just a little bit lit up there. Nothing too bad going on for him. For the most part, the 4 is still up. Oh, quick on the draw there. And that's going to be him down. He's going to go ahead and use that level last resort. Reload and see what he can do. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to take all 4 of them by himself, but he's got 2 lit up. 2.5. There it is. The defender's going to go ahead and take it and get him out of his way. Not without a trade, but it still goes down. There it is. Watches him. He got somebody right in that little window, but they were all over the map there. All right, we're in the 5th, and it's starting to heat up right here. 3 rounds going over to the orange team. I'm going to try to learn everyone's names while I have the opportunity to. I couldn't grab it on my PC. I don't know what was going on, and I don't want to delay it too much. So I'm going to grab it on my phone here and see where we're going. You got somebody right in there. All right, that's going to be annoying. Alright. And I have the chat up now, so I should be able to kind of follow along with what you guys are saying. And that should hopefully give you a little better experience with this whole casting thing. Meanwhile, we're back in prep phase once again for the 5th time now. And we're going to go ahead and break down both of the sets here. Let's switch over to the defending set. That's something we talk about too often. We got Smoke. We got Jaeger. Pulse. We're okay, it's not bad. It's pretty much for the most part the same consistency we've seen between that swapping out for Castle and Smoke. But same thus far. Mute, Legion, nothing too switched up over on the defensive side of things. On attack, they switched back and they finally selected Ash after what seemed like forever. We finally get Ash in the play since they've been swapping it out for 3 different people each time. And we got Buck with there. Okay, so I guess now at this point they finally caught on. It looks like this is a good setup for the for Kitchen. And in this case they went Sunrise, but you're still in pretty much the same vicinity. I can see this working for both. So if they are as communicative and kind of in-depth as they would want to be, oh, we got a little bit of window shot. I was hoping that we wouldn't see that just yet. But it's pretty early in the round. It looks like maybe he was going for a spawn pick. I'm trying to see why he'd be over there so early. I guess just watching that backside push. But upstairs, it wouldn't make sense to have them all the way over there watching that window. Unless he was going to go ahead and peek. And which in that case, he did kind of late. Alright, they were going to go ahead and walk down. Blue holding it for the most part. They got angles all over it. And the rest seems like it's pretty cut and dry. It's just everybody's just pushing their own way. We got lots of drone action coming out of the blue team. They're repelling on that back side there over on the south side. And they're in it to win it now. They're gonna go ahead and get up with the last two. Ooh, that 4 only takes out a defender.
Tossing EMP grenade.
Lots of wallbang action. Really, this whole, a lot of time has been eaten up. They did get a pick, but a lot of time has been eaten up with just the main push. We're now a minute and 38 seconds remaining in this round, and we're just now seeing them get on blue. It looks like they're just now finding out. Ooh, was he fast enough with it? I can't tell if he downed him or not, but it was very quick. No, he's still up and still very much alive, watching the stairs with a little bit left he has. And it's just a waiting game over on the blue side. He's going to be relaxing, tone it down. It looks like we're starting to get a slow peek. He's listening out for it. I can only imagine he's listening out for him to walk up those stairs. Meanwhile, oh, and he can't miss those shots, Lucky. That's exactly, Catchy, that's exactly what we saw there. This round is starting to look really good for the blue team. And Diffuser goes down. So far, so good. Now before Catchy comes and makes it back up. It's still 4v3. It's doable for both teams, but with 47 seconds remaining, it starts to get a little bit. There we go. We're back in these blue stairs here. And he's going to throw out his Legion there. Just in case you hear anything. Oh, coming out and aggressive. Wow. Who would have anticipated that? All right, he came right after the Legion. We thought we'd heard a pop. He was straight back upstairs. But no, he had to get down there and make it happen. So now it's a 3v2. It directly worked out. Ooh, quick with it. But he's got to be careful. He knows there's two, and that's going to be the second one trading it out. Still a 2v1. Doable for both teams at this point. Very, very lit up for both. Meanwhile, Catchy's chilling. He's good. He's at 100. No questions asked. But that Diffuser, once again, going down. They need to get it down, actually. With just 11 seconds, going to take a little bit of a hit. Actually, a lot of a hit. And the Diffuser down. He's had him in his sights. It looks like he anticipated the wall bang. Kind of nervous now, taking that smoke out, running back out to where they were, where he just got lit up. Hold it down. He can't really quite get his sights right on him, so he's going to just relax towards another smoke. Looks like a smart move. Oh, but they were watching that back window pretty heavily there. That's going to be round 5 going over to the blue team to make this a little bit more of a closer game. We're looking at 2-3 now for both teams. All right. So far, so good, I believe, under the new rules. And correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the role swap round after this. I believe it's 6 on both and 12 in total. But I haven't followed any ESL changes in a while. With that being said, we're seeing Thermite, Buck, Twitch, Thatcher, Nomad come out of the attacking team. And then the same... Oh, okay, we got Ella. A little bit of a switch up there. For the most part, everything else is the same. Actually, we still see Smoke and Mute, Jaeger, Ella, and Legion. So it looks to be, for the most part, besides these 6 picks. So let's see. They got a Twitch for the first time, and they're switching it back to good old Jackal. Can't go wrong if it ain't broken. There's Vigil coming out. They swapped that Vigil over for Mute, which is interesting. But okay, fair enough. That's what we're looking at right now, and we'll see how it goes. It's exciting to see Jackal come back and play. He worked out so well when they went for that first push downstairs. So it worked out great for them. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out with 23 seconds left in this preparation phase. All right, we got Smokey Boy reinforcing that back wall on hallway, and I like the strategy of the blue team, which is kind of just for them. It's like set up here, be ready here, and then go work somewhere else. You know, you see they're dispatching their team, or sorry for the orange team, but you'll see they're dispatching their team kind of all over the map and just kind of all over the place there. Interesting tactic coming out to catch you. Just kind of give them a line of sight through everywhere possible. And then you'll see what I mean. You'll see they're barricading that wall over there, and just different just ideas of just kind of spreading out all across upstairs and just denying each push possible. It's worked out for them on Kitchen for sure. Worked out for them consistently. And if they can just keep their gun skill up, they can just hold it down. Oh, that's pretty close. Yes, they were just barely missing that. The little hole in the window is going to cost him there. He was in the right place at the wrong time. So it's going to be early pick off of Vigil. Fortunately for them, Vigil's not one of those operators that necessarily change the way of the game. As opposed to their smoke would do, for sure. But that's going to be Thermite, a little bit lit up, though. It's a 5v3 now. They're coming out of quick. That's Lucky taking out... I can't even read his name. But taking out Legion, though. Another blue swap. That's going to be Freddy. And it doesn't look likely. There's still a whole minute and 45 seconds remaining. And we're seeing now Smoke. He just peeked out. Oh, quick on the drop there. They're wasting no time. Look at how quickly it is. Maybe it was that Jackal. Good luck, Jackal. Holding it down. He's going to be on his right there. And there it is. Going to go ahead and take him out. They're all over the place. Very, very smooth round. They didn't even need to get a plan off. They're coming in. They're pushing. They're aggressive with it. This time they anticipated exactly where they were. They broke you down very easily. Pushing left and right. This definitely looked a little bit more coordinated and a little bit cleaner. A lot cleaner than we've seen coming out of the blue team. For who's consistently up until this point kind of relied on this their gun skill. So it's interesting to see that they switched it back up and their strategies changed a little bit. All right, score is still 3-3. Everything's looking good. We take a look at this kill board here, and we're seeing Freddy come out. MVP thus far out of the blue team. We switch to Castle up here, and then we see for the first time a Rook in play. Granted, it's a switch now. We see Ash, a whole different set now that they've switched up rounds, switched up sides here rather. Completely different strategy come out of these teams. We'll see how it plays out. I didn't quite get a chance to catch where they went. Okay, they went upstairs. Alright. This is interesting. Try to break down and see what's going on in both teams' minds here. We see now in the new defending team, they got a pulse, which is going to be really actually quite handy. We've seen how quickly they peak. And they've been pretty aggressive with their gun skill thus far. We saw just on their last push upstairs how quickly they just slammed through the window on all sides. Definitely coordinated. If Pulse can communicate effectively where their locations are, they shouldn't have any problems just go ahead and picking them right on out the game. Same over here. Everybody else looks pretty standard. They got Castle to kind of slow it down a bit. Legions to slow down the pushes a bit. But it didn't look like, from what we've seen on defense from the other team, that this is going to be a matter of speed. There got a lot of operators to kind of slow down the pushes. And the advances, but it didn't really look like that speed is going to be their issue. It looks like they're going to need to spread out a little bit more, and just barely missing them there. But spread out a little bit more and just mostly watch the coordinate. Listen out for communication. You see they got a Rook. Obviously, with the Rook here, or Montang, sorry, that it's not their goal to really push this really fast. It definitely looks like coordination is their key. You know, the Switch is joining him in there. And it'll be great to see how that works out. You know, I'm always a proponent of coordinating rounds as best as you can, as opposed to just kind of rushing in there. And both are two different styles that come to play. Anyway, they got two ops watching those blue stairs, and for the most part, they're kind of just holding it down in their own territory. Not like we saw before, where the orange team decided to spread all across the map, all across the top floor, and just deny every single push possible. As much as they can to the best of their ability. But in the same sense, they're just holding it down where they are and letting them get closer and closer, which for a coordinated team like we've seen thus far is probably not your best bet. But now they're in the Devil's Den, they're a little bit in their territory. Just right on his head there, if only he knew. And it's going to switch right through and try to keep some line of sights open that back wall there. Looks like they're anticipating a penthouse, which, as you would, for most teams on Coastline, to try to get it out of the way. But everything else looks pretty straightforward. They wasted a lot of time just getting inside, granted the wrong objective. But now that they have an idea where it is, we'll see Montang on that back wall there, holding down the door. They're very much aware of Montang's location. And we're still now just 60 seconds remaining in this round, and still no trades have happened. Thermite a little bit lit up there, but ooh, that's gonna be for the first time Legion on the defensive team out of the game. They're gonna trade off with Ash, still 4v4. Really, what's gonna come down to it is the time it takes. That's what you see with these coordinated teams. It's not so much that they can't get the pick, it's just how long it takes them to get there, and that smoke is going to be deadly for them as he puts them. Yeah, that smoke is really handing it out to him. But he managed to hold it down. Montaigne's in that back corner, just giving out those call-outs. With, like I said, coordination with a team that can communicate with each other is not your worst bet. It looks like it can be pretty overpowering for them at this point. And there it is. That's what you see, folks. When you get calm, cool coordination, they push right on in. We were a little bit worried about the time it took them to get in there. They wasted a whole bunch of time just getting into the wrong objective, and when they finally found the objective correctly, just still a lot of time. But that's what you get. You can get the Montaigne in there. He holds that down in the corner, and it's just call outs and communication from there. And it looks like they have the gun skill to back it up. Didn't seem to be a problem for them, and that's going to give them that extra round there, making the score now 3-4. We're seeing Castle, Pulse, Legion, Jaeger, and that's my guess. Ooh, Maestro. Okay, interesting. They're going to be in kitchen. We've seen Maestro played on that back wall over there consistently throughout. If you look at any game, you'll see that's not too surprising. It's the first time, though, we've seen it in this game. And we got Ash, Buck, Nomad, Montaigne, and Thermite once again coming out of the new, now attacking team. It looks like only the blue team's going to take advantage of that 6 pick. And everybody else looks like they're pretty set. Just going to slot that pulse out for an Ella. It didn't help them as much as it could have the last game. So we'll see. But I definitely think if they could just kind of coordinate a little bit more and spread out a bit, that pulse would have been helpful. But alright, they're prepping now. And notice where he just threw that impact. That's just normally where we see that Maestro being played. So it'll be interesting to see where they decide to put it down instead. And he's kind of spreading out their defensive now. It looks like they're finally going to go ahead and catch a hint and just prep elsewhere, kind of spread out a bit, prepare for other pushes. You see they're starting to open up walls to these spawn peaks. It's an aggressive play style. We've seen it, and it works in some cases. They got to be careful not to treat this like a ranked match and kind of remember that you're going against teams that expect this. You're going against a team that understands how the game works. And you don't want to get too caught up in just a single strategy. You got to make sure you can slow it down on your own and make sure everybody's doing their individual jobs, which looks like they're starting to take the hint now. You see how far they're spreading across that downstairs. Meanwhile, we're in it to win it now. That's going to be everybody pushing to the top. We really never have too much concerns or comments about how they coordinate, how the orange team, even when they were on defense, was coordinating themselves. They were all over the map, had everything ready to roll. Looked like a really nice strategy for every single objective, including not going penthouse. Was just also part of that strategy. He's going to see the drone get popped out over there. Alright, a little bit of action, but nothing too crazy. Montaigne just trying to keep him downstairs, make a little bit of noise, and for Ash to come and just use a little quick speed to just get something out of there. But it doesn't look like Ella wanted any smoke. She's out and just holding it down around the corner. A little bit of gunfire action coming over here. We're watching blue at the line of sight. Ooh, but just barely missing it. Not the fastest one, but looks like Montaigne's going to take a little bit longer to get down the stairs. But he's there, and looks like everybody's a little bit nervous about what's going on. Yeah, it doesn't look like he wants to peek it. Not a bad bet considering you're a round down. Alright. Ooh, that's going to be a very smooth pick coming out of catch you. Again, it looks like their coordination is getting better. You got to give it to them. They decided to take this a lot less aggressively. He's going to get another? No, I don't think he did. But it's definitely just it's a little bit more systematic, a little bit better and cleaner. That plant's going down. And you'll see they got 2 picks off of it. Very clean. 3 picks now, 4. Very, very smooth with it. I'll tell you, yeah, it's definitely 2 different styles. If you're playing ranked, that aggressive style, he didn't want to down him. That aggressive style works in your favor. Can you get one more? Oh, okay. All right, now before. Oh, whoa. All right, he got a little bit nervous. He was quick on it. Got to give him credit for it, for that effort. But look, that aggressive play style, it works. It came right behind him there. Unfortunate. It works in some cases. If you're going against a team that's not really used to that kind of push, it'll get you a round or two, definitely. And they went ahead and tried it at the beginning as opposed to the end. And like we see, they got a few rounds off of it, but it wasn't until they slowed down and they really just kind of coordinated their attacks that it worked out. And now we see the blue team, who's just super aggressive consistently, and still having a hard time finding their balance there with that. All right, now we're hooking on. We still haven't seen. It's really funny. We still haven't seen anywhere with Penthouse. Both teams look like they're consistently avoiding that, which can't blame them. Honestly, it's a tough one to hold down, and quite frankly, even a difficult one to push. So I can definitely appreciate that from both teams. Looks like they're both knowingly kind of avoiding that area. And this looks like the same kind of copy and paste strategy we've seen before. This time, to counter that Montang, it looks like they're coordinating a little bit more. We finally get some few different operator choices up here. This is gonna be an interesting one. With just 16 seconds left, he decided to use all of his castles kind of in that one little area. Not sure that's counterintuitive to the whole spreading out idea that they had before. And they're all piling up. If I saw that correctly, they were all piling up on that one door. Okay, it looks like they decided to spread out. I'm not sure what that was. But at some point they were all just kind of, I don't know, maybe all rush out at the same time. Back for spawn peak, not going to happen for him. Needs to get back in very quickly. Work this shot, but you guys are a few rounds down. A few too many rounds down to risk it. But always worth a shot if you can get it. Alright, and that's pretty much just like I said, the same kind of copy and paste. They're already planting the diffuser. Wow, I didn't quite catch them get inside just yet. There it is, that overwall there, but ooh, not gonna come without a price. Yeah, they were able to get in there. You need to be careful. It's speed. Oh, you gotta give Catchy credit for all of his frag shots like that. They're ridiculous. But check this out. So they got in the objective very quickly. That's the first thing we noticed out here. But it costed them. I don't know what the blue team was doing, how they just let them sneak right on through there. I couldn't quite see the action going on upstairs. But they got in, and fortunately they did get the 2 picks off of it, but the diffuser is down. You know, the diffuser is ticking away right now. And if they can just keep their eyes on it, they're droning out still. Lots of drones alive. That's Catchy with another frag out their way, another kill. They're doing a really good, it's this coordinated attack coming out of here. They can just hold it down with the gun skill just like they did right there. 2v3. Not a bad position for them at all with 5 rounds in their pockets already. 2v2. It's starting to make them sweat a little bit. 1v2. Doesn't look likely. It's still going down. And there it is. That attacker's now their 6th round in the bag. Boy, it's heating up. It's an interesting 2 different styles coming to class here. The blue team is really just having a hard time finding their footing. They're trying some new stuff. It's interesting, and they're not stuck in this like gridlock, as sometimes happens when you're a few rounds down. But at the same time, they need to change the pace immediately. They need to do something, because what's been working. You see, they're talking it out now. They haven't selected an objective just yet, and still not yet. So they're definitely working on trying to switch it up. They understand the gravity. They're contesting it at this point. And they're going for Penthouse for the first time in this entire game. They're going to switch it up for, look, what's to lose? You know what I mean? At this point, it's worth a shot. They got class. They got dog. And it might work in their favor. It might give them a round. Like I said, nobody's played Penthouse thus far. They don't look to be expecting it with that Montang and Nomad selection there. But they're prepared for it. They can take a thermite. They don't have any thatchers, which might hurt them, but they got Buck for downstairs, and hopefully they can make something happen with that. But yeah, it's definitely worth switching it up for. See what you can do. When you're 3 rounds down, you got to make something happen. And that's what it looks like we're seeing. We got 40 seconds left in this prep phase. Class is the second time we've seen Class come out for the defending team. it's, you know, it's great to have her. It's great to have these operators. They're definitely now looking a little bit more coordinated. But if you can't align your team with her, if you can't communicate the way you're supposed to, you're gonna have a class with Montaigne. Then she's ineffective. She's not doing her job. You know, she's not. Her job isn't to just run around zapping people. It's definitely for that communication aspect to hold it down. And if they can get that, you know, in, especially on Penthouse, one of the tougher maps to, tougher objectives to hold down, then they might have it. They might be able to bring up 4-6, just look a little bit better, and they're going to need to get the next 3 consistently. We've seen it happen before. We can't count them out just yet, but this is the first time around Penthouse. And, ooh, they wasted no time. That's catching now quickly with the barbed wire. Oh, but he's going to be out by Lucky. Very, very nice pick. Just holding it down with that dog. Didn't even touch him. He's good to go. That's what happens when you switch up to Penthouse. But now the call out is out. They know that they're in Penthouse now, or at least that's the idea. And they have to change their strategy up a bit. There is... Watching through that drone hole. Okay, I was going to see what we're going to happen coming out of there. Okay, a little bit of a free fire, but he's holding it down for the most part. He got Montaigne on his side as well, just helping him out, just in case. But there it is. Cassie was a very good pick to get out of the game so early on. Ooh. If they can manage to make that happen, that would work great in their favor. That's a tough angle to play right there, boy. I don't know. There it is. Gonna go ahead and get ahead with that little losing mine. For the most part, everything still seems pretty slow. They still have a little bit of downstairs action, a lot going on very quickly. Now we're trying to follow all of the action as best as we can. Catch you, star player now, watching around that corner. That's gonna be Lucky with another one. Can't count Lucky out. 5v3. Penthouse was definitely a smart move for them. They need to hold it down. They definitely know what's going on now. They got recontrol the diffuser with still a minute to go. He had him in his sights there. Definitely would have went for it. I guess trying not to give up his location too bad. The diffuser's going down, however. And then they're still unsure where. Oh, Lucky's gonna come, and there it is. Look at that. All quickly happening, just back to back to back. Check this out again. This is the final kill. Even through the fog, just kind of sprays and prays. There it is behind him, right there. You know, I think the communication was definitely starting to come out a little bit more. They maintained class a little bit longer than they did thus far. And yeah, I think that's what we saw here. Just they all decided to talk it out. They said, let's go Penthouse. They weren't expecting the Penthouse push for sure. We haven't seen it at all this game up until recently. But now they're back to hookah. And what they need to do is kind of just keep track of what they're winning, what they're losing, because they haven't won a round in a little bit. Just the closest they've got to taking over the round. And they decided that hookah was the best bet. They all went to it pretty quickly. And this is their set for it. Not a bad mix. Meanwhile, on the attacking side, you see how quickly they are with coordination. They're not straying from their set there. We see a Zofia rather than an Ash, and for the most part, everything looks the same. Let's see what he's six picking to. Okay, they gotta give us a Rook instead of a Doc. Has their problem really been staying alive? I don't think so. Like, we haven't had to see too many people get docked up too much. It's either, for the most part, it's just been a matter of are they dead or are they not. This particular share play is going to end soon. We'll see how this round goes, and then what the best move is after that. But with 30 seconds remaining, again, prep doesn't look like it's their biggest issue. It hasn't been a matter of like keeping them out. It's just, can you coordinate the best way possible to align yourselves, position yourselves throughout the objective, and prepare for that. They did a really, really stunning job when they selected Penthouse. You see Lucky was just right outside that window very quickly and got head out of the game very, very fast. And so that's what we're going to see here. Can they repeat it? Can we get another one? And again, we're going to need to see it 2 more times if we want this to work out in their favor. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of things, they need to kind of keep their head in the game. They were thrown off a lot by that Penthouse push. And if they can just shake it off, consider it 1 round out of the game, and just keep doing what they've been doing, they shouldn't have any problems. We're starting to see, okay, definitely interesting downstairs play coming out of the blue team. Windows are open. Lucky might be again in the right place, right time. Let's catch you. If Lucky can catch you out, these are 2 strong players. Oh, and there it is. Wow, okay, now that's going to put them in a really great territory. Katsu, one of the top braggers on the other team, is now out of the game with so much time remaining. That's going to really help. And that's a back push for the Orange team. That was part of their, looks like their plan there. They're going to have to re-coordinate. Anytime you catch them off game, we saw in Penthouse, catch them off guard, rather, it definitely throws them for a loop. They're not really quick on adjusting. And like I said, we saw that in Penthouse, and we'll see if that is the same case. But that could really hurt them catch them off the game. We're not going to count anybody out. For the record, I've been calling them all the same, but it's occurred that they're different at the top. All right, Money with a nice trade-off. With Lucky, I'll get a top fragger on the blue team. We got Montang pushing down those stairs fairly aggressively. All three of them, rather, just coming down one after the other. Which generally we'd say is silly, but we look at the blue team, they're all kind of in the same spots as well. Watching that pre-fire almost get him to the wall there. Taking heads that leads in mind, he is on camera. It's not bad. It's not a bad look for the blue team right now. They are, ooh, they can just hold their shots a little better. This is a pretty good position for the Orange team where they are. Even a 4v2 situation, ooh, not quite. They couldn't hold it down the way they needed to. But look, guys, it's 5-6? We're in a lot better territory. They've done it 2 times. If they can do it one more, we'll see this go into a tied game here.
Enemy spot.
Alright, welcome back. We are in it to win it. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, they're quickly swapping out that Jackal for Twitch. Not bad. This is interesting. Anytime we see the Orange team, and I still haven't learned the lane, so I apologize for that on both teams, but hopefully you can still follow along. Anytime we see the Orange team make a switch kind of last minute, it's been a matter of how well they can coordinate out. They have the communication down for sure, and it seems like they're all on the same page as to what they're doing, but it's not so much if what they're doing is working. Like we see he's taken down in that back window, Tatsu so quickly out the game by Lucky, and it almost puts them in a really bad position for the rest of the round. It completely throws off their strategy, and as opposed to the blue team, who, although they might go in with the strategy, it definitely gets shaken up at some point throughout the game, and you know, they're able to catch up really quickly and kind of just readjust to what they need to. So that's what happens. We get these coordinated attacks, you get these strategies. They look good on paper for sure, but when in action, they don't work out the way you need to. You need to be able to quickly readjust, quickly replan. And that doesn't seem to be the case going on for them just thus far. We're in action phase now. We got Montang back in the game, nothing crazy. For the most part, everything, we got Tapatao, which is the only little swap that I see, with the exception of the defending team. He might come back across a little contact again. Oh, just barely missing him. Again, if only they knew. Yeah, and I guess they were expecting an upstairs push because it worked out so well for them. But it's stuck up there. Oh, no, they were not. They knew exactly what they were doing. That's Katsu coming around and getting that first pick. And here he goes again with his grenade. Let's see what he can do. Not quite everything over there. But just listening out for them, hearing them below, and just going for it. It's working out in his favor. Meanwhile, the blue team is preparing for a push. Looks like both teams are kind of aware that they can get that backside push at any moment now. And that's what we're seeing now. It's a little peek. Pre-fire on those stairs. But he's just really missing him. Oh, quick with it. But that's right. I really thought he got him there. He definitely took off a little bit of... But there it is. He's got Buck out of the game. And that's going to be Money Katsu. Another blue trade there. Look, say what you... Oh, such an aggressive push. If you could have got both of them, wow, what can you say? There it is. The defenders have tied up the game. We'll talk about catching their footing. They really just did it. Look, this little push here. If he came right after him. Definitely wasn't expecting two people to come out of that window for sure. But wow, you got to give them credit. They found their footing. They knew what they needed to fix, and they did it. They spread out, and it worked out beautifully. Exactly what they needed. Now it's a matter of holding it down once more, keeping and maintaining what you got. You got it where you need to be. All right, you're exactly where you want your team, where you want them. Now it's just a matter of just bringing it on home, driving them through. Meanwhile, the orange team is just really having a hard time adjusting to this new playstyle coming out of the blue team. We've seen Money consistently just come out with these amazing frags and tries to balance it out the best he can. But you see it's 13-9. But it's nothing compared to how well the blue team is kind of distributing themselves. You see 12, 10, 13 come out of all different tops. So it's not something he can do by himself. We see Jerry coming in a little bit, 9-9. He's dead as much as he helps out. So it's a tough position. They really need to readjust. They cannot throw all of this on the shoulders of Money. And at the same time, the blue team just needs to keep doing what they're doing, and we can see a little bit more support action come from their support players who are just kind of holding it down for the most part. They can get picked off a little bit less and just hold down the objective a little bit better. They're going to deny that plant, which the orange team definitely has no problem getting consistently. And if they get a plant down like we've seen in Hookah before, that's going to be a devastating round to go to the orange team. So if they're supporters, we got Mirren out in the game. That's going to be Lucky, who shouldn't be playing objective. You wouldn't imagine a top fragger like Lucky. But they got three of them. They got three consistent top fraggers. So, might as well have one in the objective. Which is actually probably smarter the more I think about it, considering if they get that plant down, it's definitely not going to be good for the blue team. We're going to find out exactly how they decided to play this. We see a couple, actually... It didn't look like we saw any backside pushes. I mean, it's interesting to see the orange team. It looks like they're almost kind of just getting shaken out. They're just going less coordination and more just kind of jumping right into it. Which for Catchy doesn't seem to be a problem. He breaks it open, pre-fired, gets right in, but it doesn't seem like they're exactly sure what the move is. They're not as clean and coordinated as we've seen thus far. Catcher's is already inside, moving very, very quickly. Meanwhile, he's got Mounting down there, just all over the place. It doesn't look like the smoothest attack we've seen. We still have people outside of the building altogether. Just kind of watching some long line of sights. He finally makes his way in with 2 minutes now in the round. And you just look, they're droning out now as opposed to prep time. It didn't look like they had a strategy at all. And they're inside, droning out. Not a good move, but that's going to be Katsu. We never have any problems with him, but Lucky coming back at him. Ooh, we get around that corner. That's going to cost him a bit. Alright, we're back at it here. That's Fredak coming in. It's a 3v3. This is looking really, really good for the blue team. They've done an excellent job readjusting to the orange playstyle, their coordination, and they distributed themselves really, really well. Alright, we're seeing the man Lucky once again, just holding it back with Elysian there. And it's just kind of a stalemate here. You really can't ask for too much on his right side there. Oh, just barely missing him. He gets behind that shield. It doesn't look like he can tell if he ran all the way through or not. And he's going to just go ahead and go for the push. He hears it, gets a peek. Oh, it's a close one for him. Honestly, you're so lit up. You just need to kind of hold it back and just relax for a bit. You can't afford it. You got 45 seconds left. They're flashing you out. You just need to relax and rely on your teammates. Terrible bounce back there. Not quite sure what the game plan was. He's going to try to ash him in the corner as opposed to going for that wall bang. I guess he couldn't see it. Oh, poor guy. You knew that was not going to work out in your favor. Peeking with just 1 HP there. I'm surprised he didn't go for any resets or anything like that. I guess we only have 45 seconds remaining. That probably isn't your top priority. Oh, that's going to really hurt. That flash bang, though, also going to hurt back with just 18 seconds. He just needs to stay alive, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen for him. That round's going to go over to the orange team, making this bad boy 7-6. All right, we're looking back at the board here. You know, we see a little bit coming more out of F-Boy. He's 9-6, but for the most part, not too much has changed. They did manage to get the round, but it's kind of like at what cost? You know, it came down to 3v3, 2v3, and it was a close one. I don't want to call it luck, because if they are readjusting finally this late into the game, then props to them. But at the same time, it's not the best position you want to be in overtime. Getting just trades off of 1v1, 2v2 situations. Nevertheless, though, they definitely caught them slipping over on the blue team, and we're seeing a switch back. They're back in their territory again. Readjusting has not been the best bet for the orange team thus far. It's going to be interesting to see if they can readjust right back to the way they did so excellently on defense. And I guess that's what we're going to see. They chose a fairly difficult one. Actually, no correction. They were back in their home territory with Kitchen, what they did so well before. And yeah, that's pretty much a matter of, can they re-switch? Can they hold it down for one more round? And same with the blue team, can they readjust? It took them a long time to adjust too, but you gotta argue, once they got it for sure. He's missing those drone shots there. But it was in a difficult position. And look, we see the coordination. This is their map. This is what they've done consistently before. They had no problems at all with it thus far. And it's a matter of, can they keep it up? Can they keep the energy? Can they keep the morale? They got that last round, which definitely helps them more than getting any other round probably would. And now we see we got a sledge. I'm always so picky about when they take sledge, because it's like, I don't know if he's gonna help you out too much downstairs. You should have expected that for sure, considering what they've done so well. And it looks like they almost kind of do, the way they're trying to go for these drones and stuff, and they push open this back wall. So they're definitely a little bit more aggressive than you probably should in overtime, considering you're around below. But he's watching it though. I just gotta barely miss it just in time. They're sitting 2 on that front side push, 3 on that front push rather. Okay. And it's kind of gonna catch him off guard, and he's gonna be on that other side as well. Not a bad strategy. Ooh, catch you. You're gonna take a lot out of the gate there without being able to return it. Gonna definitely put him in a bad position for sure. Yeah, this is an interesting strategy for the blue team. They kind of spread themselves all across the front, and they got one upstairs. That's gonna be Lucky taking out Jerry, who hasn't been doing too much in the first place. So it's a good pick. You got the numbers, but that's not who you need. Now we're starting to get a little bit more interesting. Lucky taking out 2. Again, 2 of your defenders, not your top fraggers. But still, it's a 4v3 situation, 4v2, and that's catch you out of the game. That's who they needed. And now we're starting to see a little bit of a better move. And this, again, folks, is on their home objective. This is Kitchen. This is where they've had no problems thus far. You got to give credit to the blue team for coming at it and readjusting so quickly. Let's take a look at that. Almost with no casualties at all. Just 1 player down. There it is right there. Quick with it. I'm not exactly sure what they were expecting. They had everything in place. They had the pulse. It was just, they can't adjust as fast as they need to, and that's really what's hurting them. We're at overtime match point, folks. This is it. It all comes down to this. Winner takes it all. I don't believe it's like they're doing it on PC. I think we're gonna play throughout this round. Looking at the board here once again, just look at how well the blue team is just distributing their kills very nicely, with the exception of, I'm assuming, who's playing support, considering they're 3 and 6 and 8. But for the most part, yeah, you see we got Castle. It looks like they're, for the most part, support roles. They're doing a little bit better. F-Boy kind of stepped his game up a little bit, for sure, helping out. They're not quite where they need to be, and that's apparent. But it all comes down to this. Every round before this round doesn't matter, because this is where they need to be. And we're back. They were switching it right back over to the other side. Who has decided to go? I didn't quite catch it. Are they penthouse again? So that would be interesting. I think they are. Check it out. All right, they had such, now this is what I'm gonna say. I don't want to say intelligence, but the game sense and kind of just overall quality of the team kind of comes through, because it would make sense that the only map they decide to go for would be penthouse on their defense, because they did it so well. And last time they didn't anticipate it. And they got thrown off completely. Cassie was out almost immediately at that back window. Lucky was there, ready to make it happen. If they can anticipate it this time, it might be a different story. You know, we don't have a Blackbeard. They have a Montang. It doesn't look like they're anticipating. There's no Thatcher. They have a Buck maybe to play downstairs. I don't know. It doesn't look like that they're anticipating. I think they're thinking they're going Hookah again, which unfortunately won't be the case. Unfortunately for them, rather. So we'll see. If they can readjust very, very quickly, will be the case. They're not set up to attack Penthouse, at least not in my opinion, for sure. But they got the... Okay, they readjusted very quickly. They've redetermined it, but it's going to cost them. That's catch you out of the game now. Money catch you. Traded with Lucky. Interesting. But they know. They know early on now where it is. And they have more time than they did before to adjust. And that looks like that might be what we're seeing here. That's F-Boy stepping his game up, giving him his 10th kill. It's a 3v4 though. It's close. Everybody's still looking pretty healthy. They still got their drones alive, and that's F-Boy kind of giving some call-outs. They're pushing down blue. Trying to just take out any of these roamers. Ooh, and just barely seeing his tail there. But I think he has eyes on him. Yeah, it's a close one. They're definitely taking this methodically. Both teams are. The blue team realizing they're a couple operators down. Definitely trying their best to kind of just hold it down. And he's got a few on his tail downstairs. Poor guy. And it looks like it might cost him a little bit. Yeah, looking to get out of the game now. 2v4. Doable. You know, if anybody can do it, you got Lucky. Still in the game. And they're just holding down objective. Yeah. If there's any kind of sound. There it is. Now 2v3. Again, it's doable. It would be interesting if they choke 4v2. But like I said, if anybody can do it, it's Lucky. There's that Montang. Ooh, he let his shield out kind of early there. Coming for that bathroom run around. You got to get out of there, buddy. They know exactly where you are. You got to step. Yeah, watch that back wall. There's Montang. He's letting his shield down so aggressively. That's going to definitely cost him if he gets ass out of the game. Oh, but they got Lucky from afar. It's a 1v3. Doesn't look too good for him. There's a play, and there it is. It's just going to rain down on him. And folks, that's your game. There it is. They were able to readjust as quickly as they needed to. They got it down. And folks, the Orange team is going to take it home. And a close game. We see Money catch you. Top consistent fragger throughout the entire game. MVP goes to him, absolutely. But you know, not bad at all. Coordination, solidarity, and just kind of communication throughout your team worked out, and they finally were able to kind of distribute their kills a little bit better.